Hey everyone, I'm Tim Penny, and this is For the Love of Gaming, a series about games that have impacted gamers and finding out that every game has something that has made games better. Today I'm talking about one of my personal favorite games, Hollow Knight. This is a game that came out in 2017 and was developed by Team Cherry. This is a Metroidvania that puts you underground in the world of Hollow Knight. You take control of the knight, and it is your job to make it through this world and surviving all that this game has throwing at you. And get ready, because you will die a lot. This is considered a Souls game, because everything is Dark Souls, but it earns this because, honestly, you will die. It's painfully difficult at times, and if you die without getting your soul back, you lost everything. So you definitely need to make sure you get through that, but you do learn from each thing that kills you. It literally does make you stronger mentally, not really physically, because there are some bosses that will entirely over and over and over. I'm looking at you, Watcher Knights. Still shudder every time I see them. But it's the charm of the game, and it's truly fun, even if there is bugs all throughout this game. But it's aesthetic this time, not just buggy. Because there's mosquitoes, dung beetles, bees, literally everything that makes you think, man, it's sure time to burn this house down. But it's charming in every way. And honestly, this game has impacted so many people's lives, from the cute aesthetic of the characters and to the blistering difficulty, but also the exploration of this game. You can see things from a rundown sewer to a forest of gases to rail carts, railways, a old kingdom, and every other little thing that you can think of. Honestly, you could even go into a beehive and still find things that you never expected to see. There's hidden things everywhere you look, ways that make you stronger every 5 minutes that you can find, and at the same time, everything's trying to kill you. So I say, let's dive into it and see why Hollow Knight is a game worth playing. Not all who wander are lost, but I sure am. You're gonna feel a lot through your playthrough. Even late game, I still found myself completely awestruck by the new sights and not knowing where to go. And that's honestly a great thing, because there's times that you go through this huge cavern, everything, fighting all these enemies, barely making it to health, and then out of nowhere, you find a bench. And that's some of the sight of sore eyes that I've ever seen. It's essentially your checkpoint. It makes it to where next time you die, you'll be back here, and it gives you all your health back, which is so good. Sometimes it's after 3 bosses back to back to back, it's worth being able to relax and breathe for a minute. But even when you're lost, it's always worth it, because you could be going, not know what to do, and then you find items and power-ups that make you run faster, jump higher. Man, you can even throw things on the ground. And aside from jokes that are years old at this point, man, you could even not get poisoned. You can swim no matter what you need to do. And honestly, it's one of the best things to do, because you never know what you're going to find next. Sometimes the cavern doesn't look like it's going anywhere, but you come back later because you got a new power-up, and look at that. You now have more health. You now have a stronger sword, or a nail, because they're bugs. They can't hold swords. They got little nails. But it's always great. And honestly, you can always find new things every corner. Some rocks disappear because you were able to destroy something on the other side, which opens up a new pathway. It's like the first time everyone booted up Skyrim. You didn't know what was coming. You didn't know that there was going to be a dragon in front of you. You were just awestruck by this magnificent land. And that's what Hollow Knight is to me. It's like Breath of the Wild, Skyrim, just a wonderful world of just exploration. You never know what you're going to find next, but you're going to have such a good time the entire time. The atmosphere of this game just paints one of the cutest games that you've ever seen, but it is also very, very dark, because your character may look super nice, super clean, super quirky, and all the characters are cutesy, chibi, whatever, but you're also most of the time running on dead bodies or seeing some dark crap. But I don't know. It's fun, and you get immersed very quickly because sometimes it can go from running around in a Sonic game to being on round 30 of zombies and you're running for your life. But it doesn't feel like jarring. You feel immersed. You feel ready to play the game and ready to see what's coming up next. And what's coming up next is usually going to try and kill you. But hey, that's why the combat in this game is so good. So good. It's so simple. All you have is at the start is just attacking forward, up, and down, and back, but still forward. And it's intuitive because of this one simple feature, the pogo. It's very similar to Shovel Knight's being able to bounce up and down with the shovel, but you attack down, and if you hit something like an enemy, you keep bouncing, and you get the chain, and it becomes this really nice mechanic of figuring out, okay, do I need to attack from below? Do I need to attack from above and bounce around and try and stay out? Because honestly, every creature you have to remember, because there's going to be a creature from the very beginning that you're going to see much, much later down on, and if you didn't know how to deal with them then, you're not going to know how to deal with them then either. And it's one of those things that you just play, and it's so, so fun to do. I really, really enjoy this game, from the little bits of lore that are hidden all around to the attacking of all these different bosses. I mean, there's bosses at the very beginning that are this hulking behemoth that literally has a slug on the inside. You've got a dung beetle that is throwing balls of poop, honestly, at you, and you have to dodge it like someone's throwing a dodgeball at you. There's highly skilled swordsmen that are attacking at you to haul out bullet hell at some points. And it's so refreshing that not every fight is going to be the same, but sometimes you are entirely going to have to think on your feet just to see how am I even going to attack this thing. And that's what's also very fun, is there's not just one way to beat these guys. Sometimes you just need to fight them with your nail, and other times it might be worth using some of the other abilities that you found along the way. You've got a Kamehameha beam blast. You can zoom right past and forth with your dash, and at some points you can actually go through the enemies and even attack them when you phase through them. You've got a explosion of energy above you, and you can even crash down on the ground and shockwaves spin. And again, you're just a little bug. So it's really, really fun to try new things, mix them around, and also try and see how long of a chain you can make. There's not a counter like in some games, but it still feels good when you've bounced all around and you haven't touched the ground, but you were able to beat the boss in one chain. And it's fun to do that. It's worth fighting them, seeing that you're definitely not worth its time, and then figuring out a new way to get all your charms together, which I haven't even talked about charms yet. There are these little medals that give you different little abilities, make your nail attack length a little bit longer, let you run a little bit faster, have gas that may smell so bad that it makes them hurt on the inside, and even turn yourself into a slug. I don't know. Some of them are weird, but they're useful. Shields that fly around you, make your health stronger, make you faster. Or, honestly, it can also hurt you, but be able to be a glass cannon. And it's fun. You never know what boss needs what, and sometimes you'll find your god tier that you're never going to change, but other times you're like, maybe I want to try to make me super weak and my attack super strong, or maybe I want to run around like Sonic and see how fast I can go from one side of the map to the other. It's always an enjoyable time to spin around and just see what you can do, see what you can find, and just have at it. This game, it's funny, I bought it twice. and somehow now I own it on every console, and I still enjoy it out of the hundreds of hours I put into it, and just it's refreshing every time, even if it is the same game. It's one of those games that truly is worth it in my eyes. I always see that if you're going to buy a game, you need to be able to get a hour out of every dollar spent. And with Hollow Knight being between $10 to $20, it's no contest. It was definitely worth the money. And honestly, as much time as I put into it, it was overly worth it. And I can't not recommend this game. If you definitely haven't played it, it's on all the systems currently. I know you can get it on PlayStation, I think on 5, but I know for sure on 4. It's on the Xbox, it's on Steam, it's on the Switch, and it can even be played on Mac, I believe. But either way, I highly recommend it. Definitely, if you can ever get the chance, play this game. You won't regret it. And one day, a sequel will come out. But I don't know when. But thank you guys for stopping by and listen to my rant about this wonderful, wonderful game. I highly recommend it, and if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe and share it with your friends, and let me know down below what other games you'd like to have talked about. I love all sorts of them, and I would love to talk about more games, especially ones that you guys love too. But either way, my name is Tenpenny, this is For the Love of Gaming, and remember, never stop gaming.